Good morning, grade fives, and welcome to week 2 of algebra and patterns. This week is an exciting week as we work towards solving algebraic equations. This was always one of my favorite things in math, and I hope you like it as well. At our stage, we are doing what would be classified as pre-algebra. Our focus is mainly on the steps for solving algebraic equations, not really the answers, because you'll find as we move through this week that the answers are quite obvious. This week we're going to be breaking down the steps and the language needed for solving algebraic equations to understand them separately, and then on Wednesday we will put it all together and begin to solve the algebraic equations. Let's just start with a basic review of the terms that we learned last week. Do you remember what is a variable, what's an expression, and what's an equation? Variable is a symbol for a number that we don't know yet. It's usually a letter like X, Y, or N, but we have primarily been using letters like N so that we don't mix it up with the multiplication symbol. An expression are numbers, symbols, and operators grouped together that do not have an equal symbol. The equation is basically an expression, but with an equal symbol. It is saying that two things are equal. One side of the equation is the same as the other side of the equation. Today we're going to be focusing on an important term and aspect of solving algebraic equations. We need to know what it means to do the inverse operation, as this is an important step in solving algebraic equations. Inverse basically just means opposite. So we are looking at the opposite operation. It is an operation that reverses the effect of another one, the opposite. So subtraction and addition are opposites. Multiplication and division are opposites. Let's have a look. So plus 5, so to add 5, the opposite is to take away 5. What is the opposite to multiplying by 6? Divide by 6. What is the opposite of subtracting 3? Adding 3. What is the inverse operation to subtracting 654? The inverse operation, or the opposite operation, is to add 654. Let's look at the inverse operation of each expression. If we were in class, I would have you write this on your whiteboards, but we're not, so you can either just write it on a piece of paper or you can just think about what it is in your head. Here we have 4 different expressions, and we're going to write the inverse operation of each expression. So I've underlined here the operation. It is a number plus 6. What is the inverse operation? Well, the inverse operation to adding 6 is to take away 6. What is the inverse operation for taking away 117? It is to add 117. 43b. Now, remember that if the variable is attached to the number, what it really means is times. So a number, b, times 43. So what is the opposite to multiplying by 43? It is to divide by 43. And here I've written it twice. You have a number divided by 4. This is how we can write it in grade 5. The true algebraic way is to write it sort of how it looks like a fraction. So we have a number, line 4, and this line means to divide. So the opposite of dividing by 4 is 2 times by 4. Let's have a look at what you are going to be doing today. Today you are going to be practicing using the inverse operation. So basically what we just did right now. And you can see at the start of the page that there is the definition of the inverse operation. Your task here is to write the inverse operation for the operation below. So plus 3, what's the opposite? Minus 3. You just put minus 3 on the line. Part 2, your task is to write the inverse operation for the underlined part of the equation. Now, if you have a printed package, you are going to notice that the operation, is not underlined. So if you are unsure, you will have to just look at the one that is on the website and you can underline part 2, or you can just do it without it being underlined. So what is the opposite of plus 3? So you are going to write minus 3. What is the opposite of taking away 69? And at the very bottom, it's sort of cut off a little bit. Can you explain it in your own words? What's an inverse operation? What's a variable? What's an expression? And what's an equation? You can write it right there, or you can verbally tell somebody in your family the definition for what those are. Good luck!